arcade sucks!
Welcome back to Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. Now, I must say, when it comes to platformers and just how much I love them, my love for platformers comes from this game. This game was, even before Sonic, I played a lot of this game growing up on my grandpa's PlayStation 2. And I played it a ton. It's very fun, and I have a lot that I want to say good and a little bad about this game. But in terms of this trilogy, this is a really good trilogy that I hope that Naughty Dog will bring back. But I really think that there's so many ideas that they could use for this series in general, but they just, I don't know, they just don't invest on it. But for those that don't know, this is Jak and Daxter. It is a series that was a follow-up to Crash Bandicoot. These are by the same people, Naughty Dog, and they basically made a follow-up to Crash Bandicoot, wanted to evolve on the gameplay style of Crash Bandicoot, and you'll get to see that here in a little bit when we start cracking into the game. And basically also make it to where you can do this achievable with no load times. This is one of the only games in existence, the three games, the first three games, Jak 1, Jak 2, and Jak 3, that have absolutely no load times. But this is also back in the collectathon era. This era of video games was when platformers were, you know, still relatively popular. They were moving into 3D, and there was a lot more that you could do with them. And in turn, that allowed you to actually collect a bunch of stuff, to create more content when it came to making these games. There's a lot that you can do in this game, and obviously we're going to be going for 100% again. The last time I played this on the channel, you know, I was a lot smaller, but these videos did really good, and I'm hoping that they'll do good again. I know Shantae did really good on the channel, and by the time this comes out, Shantae might be done, and depending on how good that really did, we'll see how good this does. But I know a lot about this game, and there's a lot of secret hidden movesets in this game as well that they don't tell you and or teach you about. They teach you the basics of the game and how to do it, and they do it well. But there's a lot of cool stuff that they don't tell you about that also, like I said, evolved from the Crash Bandicoot formula that makes this game really freaking awesome. And personally, oh man, I always love replaying this game. I can never get enough of it. You can even see the level design in the behind of these games. And we're going to get into pretty much all of that, and the movement options, and the iconic Daxter, the otter weasel, and now he's small and furry and friendly and sassy as well, and he's freaking out now. So this was also during the time when we had the silent protagonist era. Daxter, or not Daxter, Jak doesn't say a word in this game. Maybe just a few like "cha" lines and whatnot, like, you know, just a few little voice lines that you'll hear here and there. But in green donation do you two want? But this game is also very goofy, cartoonish, which is not a bad thing. I really like that about these games. It's very but I have a lot of nostalgia playing these games growing up, just, you know, running around, exploring, and doing a bunch of stuff. But in retrospect, when you go back and play these games, as a kid, this game is really big, and this game is pretty big. But if you know how to navigate all the levels, these levels feel relatively small, and it's not very difficult, especially when you master it. And that's the thing about platforming, is mastery. Mastery is the biggest and best thing that you want to do when it comes to playing these games. And mastery is going to get you a long way, because this game can be difficult if you don't know how to play it. But you're watching a Baraspi video, which means I'm going to teach you how to play this game from start to finish in the best and most efficient way possible, because there's a lot of cool, even speedrun tech in this game, which is weird. I'm not going to do the speedrun tech, but I'll show you kind of how to execute it. There's my girl Kira. You already know. You already know. My girl Kira. At this very moment. Use 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work.
So, like I said, we are going to be doing all of the objectives, all of the things. We will not be leaving a single area until pretty much we get these done. But
with a few precursor orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds.
And you can already see, you know, a lot of cool areas.
But brave adventurer, at least.
Brave adventurer? You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the
I don't know who you think you're talking to, Samus Sage, but sorry, y'all know me. I get invested in this, obviously. The story in this game is not much compared to the story in the second and third game, where they actually like take it serious and it gets all like a dark and gritty, edgy platformer like all the platformers of the early 2000s. But this one, and this game came out in 2012, so I was a little kid when this game came out. But anyway, you have your basic movesets, which you have a punch, which is a one punch, which Crash had. You have a little spin like Crash had. You have your jump and your double jump. It's the only thing I hate about replaying games, man. I know how to play these games. I've played these games before. What they don't know is that I built this game in a cave with a box of scraps. But anyway, you also have a double jump that you can execute. You can also crouch and crawl, but if you move, you can roll. The power cell, yep. I built this game in a cave with a box of scraps. I'm getting schizophrenic on them. But what is cool is there's a lot of movement options that you can do. So if you hold down and you don't, if you hold down the button, which using L1 on PlayStation, you can actually do a high jump like this. You can do a high jump, and you can do this to decrease your jump, because you can take fall damage in this game, but if you do this, this will decrease your fall damage at the last moment. You can also do a roll jump, which this is going to be your best and fastest way to get around the levels like this, which is amazing. But if you wait till you get to the very, very end of the jump, you can actually execute a high jump into this, and boom, get a high jump off of that as well. You can also do a smash move if you do the punch, but if you do it fast enough, you can also do a high jump off of that. So there's a lot of ways that you can actually do high jumps instead of just waiting to do the basic L1 prompt. Now, I will say the basic L1 prompt does get you the most height off of these jumps, but for the most part, if you do the if you do those, say you're like in a hurry or you're like stressing out, you can do these cool jump highs like this, high jump stuff. And this is where the collectathon comes in. A lot of early 2000s platformer games like this were collectathon. So this game especially is the biggest, I wouldn't say culprit, but this game especially is a huge collectathon. The second and third game kind of lessened down on that and are more about story and platforming and level design and whatnot, while this game is more about the level design and the platforming, because you're going to be doing that a lot here, as well as being able to utilize your movesets and collecting everything. And if you collect everything in the game, which is why we're doing it, it will give us a little secret ending at the end of the game, which will lead into game 2. So that's why we need to 100% everything. You don't have to. Obviously, you could just play game 2, but you're not going to have a lot of context going into game 2 if you don't play it. So actually, you're going to want to come down here because, like I said, there is a lot that you actually need to collect. And you'll see here there is a thing here where it says find the cell on the path, free the 7 scout flies, which you'll always have. You're going to want to collect all the eggs on the island, and then there's always going to be an objective in order to get these power cells. And you cannot complete an area until you get all of the power cells and the eggs. At least that's the way I see it. So that's what you're going to want to do when it comes to collecting all of these. Yep, I know, Samus. You don't have to tell me. And this is Eco, which is power that Jack is pretty good at harnessing himself. Blue makes you go faster, red increases your strength, yellow should let you shoot fireballs, and green heals you. But blue is the only one that we're gonna have unlocked for now. But blue is my favorite because, like I said, it actually does help you move faster. It's energy, and it'll power stuff as well. And there's a lot, like I said, that you can do while channeling the Eco. And Jack is very, very good at channeling Eco, which you're going to see. And these are Eco vents. Yep. So this will give you a full bar of Eco.
Letting you use it for the maximum time.
Now, I will say this. This game doesn't have something that I like about the other 2 games, where in this game, you only have to limit how much Eco that you can use and where you can use it. While in the second 2 games, actually collecting these eggs that you are seeing us collect, you can collect them in the second and third game. But they're not as prevalent. You kind of find them like in the levels and doing challenges and stuff, but they're used for unlocking cheats. And the reason they're used for unlocking cheats is because of they'll let you use unlimited Eco powers, unlimited ammo, because there's guns in the second and third game. Spoiler alert. But you know, I've played this game before. I've played these games before. Like I said, I've played this game before. So if you haven't already, you know, you either want to go watch the other one or go play it for yourself. Like, what the frick are you doing? Yep, I know. Don't worry about it. Yep, and there we go. We got all the Geyser Rock things, and that is Geyser Rock complete. And it will always tell you when you collect all the eggs in a certain area, and that's when you get your stuff done. And like I said, these will power things for you. Now, do not fret though, because once you are done with Eco, it will be powered on forever. So you no longer actually have to do that. We're going to go to the Green Sage's hut, and this is where the game's actually going to turn us loose, and we actually have to just figure some stuff out, basically.
Good training, boys, but that's nothing compared to the challenges that
lie ahead. Yeah.
No problem. We got the moves, eh, Jack? We'd love to stay and chat, Big Green, but we're itching to get on with our adventures.
Fine, fine. Adventure away then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green Eco collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
Okay, so we're going to do a few more things before we end on the video, because obviously Sandover Village is the first area that you want to get, but there are also things that you can get in Sandover Village, like power cells. You can also get the eggs and stuff like that to collect, but we're going to need to take on a few quests before. I did not mean to get that close up on her, but you know, it's all good. That's my girl Kira. We're going to need to be able to grab a few
I don't date animals.
essentials before we leave on our journey to the first 2 areas of the game, which we'll, you know, tackle in every independent video
If you need
going
something to
on
keep you busy,
onwards.
my father
Because I'm going to try to take my time on this, whereas in the original series of this game, if y'all don't know, I sped run the frick out of this game, and that's because I didn't have recording time. you know, I only had an hour to do everything, so I would cram everything into an hour. Now I'm just gonna cram everything into a 20-minute video, and boom, there we go. So I'm just gonna collect everything here and get our villages, get our quest lines, so that way we're good to go. And then we're gonna go to the beach and unclog those other things, and you know, just do everything else that the beach needs us to do, as well as you know, also collect everything that the game wants you to do. Now, there is a way that the game keeps you in line, and it is sorry, every single daggone time I talk, you know me, guys, my ADHD goes off. There is a way this game keeps you in line. You cannot go too far out, or you will get eaten by fish. A big giant fish that is, you know, not good. And so that's the way that the game kind of keeps you in check, aside from the one water level that's actually in this game. In the next village over, there is water level, and it's cool how they do this. They seamlessly connect everything into levels, and then you basically get to do a bunch of like platforming and cool other like stuff, like level design wise and whatnot. And it's a very great approach, and Naughty Dog was cooking back in the day, man. They were cooking, I mean, they were cooking with Crash. They were cooking with Jak and Daxter too, which is why I prefer Jak and Daxter. And I think now I need to get to Sandover Beach, which I will say, on the terms of level design, is very basic, because it is your starter area. It is an area that you are basically, you're just starting out and you're getting the ropes, and there's not much platforming. There's actually more room to move around, whereas the later levels in the game will actually allow you to you know, jump around more and do a bunch of other stuff.
Hello there, my
and you'll get to see as we get in here, and as I utilize the movesets more, that we'll be able to do this. Now, the reason I'm saying everything I can right now is because once we start getting into the gameplay side of things, I'm going to be teaching y'all kind of just how to play the game, how to get the ropes, and just everything I know about this game, because I know pretty much everything about this game. I've played it so many daggum times. It's one of my probably favorite platformer games of all time. Not this one specifically. Jak 3 is probably my like top 5. I love this game, don't get me wrong. I love this game. I love 2, and I love 3 the most. 3 is my favorite, one of my favorite games of all time. But you know, Sonic took my heart early on in my life, so that's really why I have Sonic as my top dog in this little thing that we call Jak and Daxter. My muse, bro, my muse. I gotta get my muse, bro. But little furry dude. This guy's a sculptor, and he will let you get to the place that you just went to, that Daxter got transformed in.
Full of spunk, crazy as a lark.
Oh, I get it. Like a sidekick.
As a matter of fact, without my muse, I just can't sculpt.
Oh boy.
Her around, I see beauty in everything, you know? Right now, I
see everything.
Like
I said, this game has a lot of spunk, and it has a lot of style, and it has a lot of cool stuff. And it's very, very lighthearted at the beginning of this game, whereas the other two are a little more edgy. And you'll see as we get into it, I mean, you can already tell just by looking at Kira, she's very anime-esque style with the American-esque styles as well, and it is very, very amusing.